Hi, my name's Tim. I'm a writer and an artist, and not that long ago I was homeless, and fortunately for me, the city that I live in has a lot of social outreach programs that assist the homeless and addicted. And so I have struggled with addiction my whole life. At the age of 9, I was introduced to chemicals by a family member. I won't mention which family member. I don't want to create any sort of negative feelings around all that. But and I don't blame that person anymore. I did for a portion of my life, but now I realize that now I'm older. I realize that the decisions that I make really don't have any bearing on, don't have any thing to do with all of that. It has to do with me and where I'm at in my head and my emotions and so forth. So I can't be running around blaming other people for my actions, because that would require them to be next to me constantly going, here, do this, do that, do that. And so the reality is, all the decisions were mine. The introduction wasn't my decision. But, as I got older and I continued to live that life, that decision, of course, was mine, and I'm the only one responsible for that. I live in Seattle. I'll show you a little shot out my window. And so I'm a writer and an artist, like I say. I'll show you some of my artwork, but I'm going to show you my workspace that I've created for myself. I live on a fixed income, which is very, very small, but nonetheless, I have great passion for what I'm trying to do, what I'm trying to accomplish, and this book. And so that's what really drives me. I could have used my savings to bought a cool car or stupid stuff like that. Not saying that cool cars are stupid, because they're not, but it doesn't get me any closer to my goal, which is to write this book and to help homeless people. I really, really, really want to help the homeless and addicted. And so, anyway, this is my little lame little laptop and my printer. I just bought that not that long ago. It's my little workstation right here. And then here's some of my artwork right there. There's one of my paintings. I've got several paintings in here actually. I've got quite a bit of stuff here. I like abstract, but I also do portraits. I'm really good at portraits. That's one of my main things. And then here's my Canon Imagiprograph IPF 780. Super nice machine. I love this machine. It cost me a pretty penny, but like I said, I put all my savings into this venture, this project, and I just really feel strongly about it. I just really feel strongly about helping homeless people and bringing some sort of joy and happiness to their life, hopefully. Here's my camera I bought, my Nikon. It's a D200. It's older, but it still works really good. And then my telephoto lens and my little 60 millimeter lens right here. So this is what I've done. I've decided that this is where I was going to put my efforts, and so what this has done is drained my savings, which I'm not upset about at all. Like I said, I'm super passionate about this. This is what I want to do. In fact, I've got a page out of my book that I'm going to read to you. I'm trying to do it fairly quickly. I'll just point the camera out the window and read it to you. How about that? December 14th, 2021. I step off the train at Stadium Station, and whom do I run into? Gary, the gentleman I met the Friday before. An absolutely brilliant young man that has the same sort of relationship with his higher power and the environment around him as I do. During my weekend, I found myself hoping and pondering on whether I might run into Gary again. Well, as it turns out, I do believe my higher power wanted us to meet on a more permanent basis. The thing is, we were very likely to make each other's acquaintance again, as we are clients at the same MAT clinic. You are, I'm sure, not exactly positive, but an idea, medically assisted treatment, a methadone clinic. I don't know Gary's story, but I myself thought it a good idea to join a family member in heroin use at the age of 26. Methadone is a legal replacement for opioids. I'll explain further in the book. It's curious that I had recently decided to take the train for several reasons. I cannot lie. One reason that motivated me toward the train is the folks I will ultimately encounter on the bus. It's a given that I will encounter an individual that is talking to oneself or being outwardly aggressive or some other completely dysfunctional behavior. Now, one might conclude that, hey, is that not exactly what the author mentioned and is actually a motivating factor in the publication of this book? Yes, you would not be wrong on that point. However, it is not disgust that motivates me, but rather frustration. When I was 10 years old, my mother's best friend experienced a major loss. Her 6-year-old son had passed, and as a 10-year-old boy, had a very memorable emotional response. To this day, I still have a very vivid memory. I wished I could trade him places. I was sad that such a young person was not going to experience a joyful life full of family and good times. This is a life I am sure we all hope to experience. Until the day that I die, I will not forget that moment, but the irony of such a feeling would not be fully realized until the moment I put those words on this page. As Gary and I meander down the street, left up to Gary, may have been jogging, we come across what only can be described as a very neurotic person, a female adult of unknown race, which irrelevant, is leaning against a pole, head nearly between her legs, but still upright, rambling something unintelligible. One may never know what it was that pushed this unfortunate soul to the brink of madness. I, however, would be willing to wager my life that loneliness had a huge role in her journey towards the depths of insanity. Gary and I entered the clinic, and I immediately reflected on my desire to chat further with Gary that I suggested he wait in case he was quicker receiving his daily dose of methadone. He must be experiencing a similar frame of mind, in which he agreed rather effortlessly. He was quite a bit quicker than me. After asking a staff member about software to perform page layout, I headed out the clinic. Sure enough, as he said, he was outside for what I can only guess was waiting for me, I would hope. So we began our walk towards the train with just a lively conversation as when we approached. We reached an area that was somewhat closer than where we saw the unfortunate young woman, but only now she was in the middle of Airport Road, lying down, thrashing, then standing. She was near Soto with a metro bus and a car as a captive audience. I can only guess she was after what little attention she could get from another human being, yelling and spewing words only she would truly understand, an imaginary voice she undoubtedly heard in her head regularly, I'm sure. I could see Gary really felt compelled to do something in that he could relate to her plight, because God knows I could. Any person who has spent day after day alone and cold in the streets can undoubtedly relate. Every day with people on the busy downtown streets of Seattle walking past as if no one is even there. Being alone while surrounded by others it's something we have all experienced, some more than others. Solitude can be spacious, and in a crowd you can still be alone. A spacious heart is cold without anyone to warm it up. I was not trying to be indifferent or cold-hearted, just realistic, and the reality of it is there was nothing we could do in that moment short of sweeping her up and providing her with the things she needed, which at this point in time, neither one of us was far from where that poor young woman was. One more use, another year getting high on the streets. The truth of it is that this is one of the things that motivates me to stay clean and healthy. I'm only a short walk from where that woman is, and I can never forget that. So that's the page for my book. I want to drive across the country. I want to interview homeless and addicted, and I want to take their photographs and put them in my book. But I don't have the funds to get the vehicle I need to get over there to the East Coast and back. So if you can find it in your heart to help me out with this project, I would surely appreciate it. Thank you so much.